Now, I want to talk about this great city, Scarborough. I see you're working on. It's crazy.
Oh,
We didn't plan this, but I planned to
we
ask you
didn't.
about Scarborough. Um, I feel like this is almost becoming a Scarborough show in a sense. Like I feel like the Cool Table is like a Scarborough honorary show. If you make it out of Scarborough, you got to come visit us. Talk about how Scarborough informed your art, because I feel like Scarborough is a very rich arts community, but it is very much like you can't stay there.
Mm, very interesting. So I grew up in Scarborough.
Mm-hmm.
All I ever knew of Toronto was Scarborough, essentially, and East York. Shout out East York.
Mm-hmm.
Really dope libraries and parks and stuff. So
Yeah.
as an outdoor touch grass kid, I was out there a lot.
Yeah.
But Scarborough actually has an arts high school called Wexford.
Big
Go Vikings.
shout out to Wexford.
So that's
If you know, you know.
if you know, you know. And that's where I ended up going.
Mhm.
So growing up in the church, singing in church, singing with my cousins and, singing at my mom's friends' weddings and banquets and stuff, that was the music world until I got to high school.
Mhm.
And then I learned more about the performing of music. And everyone that I knew growing up in Scarborough was some kind of art, whether it was visual, DJing, dancing, acting. A lot of famous actors, passed through Wexford. A lot of famous artists as well. Mike Myers went to Wexford.
Mhm.
Fifi Dobson went to Wexford. So, it's only right that I go to Wexford too, right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No correlation
It's only
at all.
right. Yeah, it's like when you think of those two, who do you think of next? Everyone
Duck.
Everybody knows that.
Right. It's just common sense. So, but going there,
Mhm.
it really helped shape my performance piece because the art was always something I really loved to do.
Yeah.
How I did it is what came about when I
Mhm.
was at Wexford in Scarborough.
Yeah. I think Scarborough, in terms of relationship to the arts, is so interesting because you're right. It does feel like everyone is in the arts in some way in Scarborough. Almost low key. Like I think about dudes I used to play ball with who showed me 40 beats on their computer, and I said, "Since when do you make beats?" And
Yeah.
it's like, or it's like, "Oh, you didn't make the team this year. This next year you're a rapper."
Yep. Literally, it's the ball to rap pipeline.
Yes.
Fresh out of Scarborough.
Yes.
It's a thing. Look it
No,
up.
Scarborough is the OG of the ball to rap pipeline.
Absolutely.
So it's like it's such a different, I guess, world, because I don't think people think of it like that. Like I think even people who are in the arts, it feels like almost like I'm doing this art thing as like a side quest, but I have to go outside and like be a Scarbarian. You know what I mean?
Very much.
But I think we definitely have some of the best. And I said this at a party last week, best borough in Toronto. Like it's not even
And
not even a question. You talked about growing up in the church. I grew up in the church too. I'm a PK.
okay.
And I don't like that reaction.
That's like the reaction, no? Okay.
No. Listen, depends who you ask, we get a bad rap. But I'm a PK, so I really grew up with gospel like before any other kind of music. And so now when I listen to music, I kind of see how that informed how I look at music completely, because everything is all like, almost one genre to me. Like I don't separate it in my head of like, this is this kind of music, it's better than this kind of music. It's all has its place. Talk about how growing up in the church and performing in the church kind of informed what you do now, because I feel like that is almost like college before college when it comes to being a musician.
All the greats in the soul, R&B,
Mhm.
anyone who's played around with those genres, funk, blues, jazz, has some kind of start in gospel.
Yep.
And growing up in the church, that was all you were hearing. At home, that was all that was coming in the house.
Facts.
Right? And when you listen to the intonations and the deliveries and all the musical technicalities of music, everything starts from a deeper connection to the music.
Mm-hmm.
The way that you connect to whatever religious beliefs you might hold, it's the same relationship with an artist and their instruments, whether it's their vocals or their saxophone, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important. What I learned is connection to the music, connection to the lyrics, connection to the instrumentation, and actually feeling like whenever you are singing this music, it's something you can share.
And I think the warmth of it is the biggest thing, because you can't have music in the church that doesn't have any warmth.
Mm-mm.
Like they're taking you off the drum set. They're taking the mic from you. Like you can't go up there with no uns music type of vibes. Like it's just not,
It's not a thing.
So
no.
when I think about what you did in R&B Diaries, like even the song like Lil Bit, which is absolutely hilarious. Like I was listening to the song the other day and my friend called me and I sang the song to her and I said, this is what I was listening to before you called me. She said, I'm sorry to ruin the vibe. I'm sorry to kill the vibe right now. But even a song like that has like, you know, a soul to it. So it's like you almost can't make music without that. Is that conscious for you now, or that's just like part of how you do things?
You know what's crazy? Okay, somebody pointed out to me like one time, but I'm taking credit because I don't remember who it was.
Perfect.
But they said gospel is basically just R&B, except you're singing about one dude.
Facts.
You know, so when you think about it that way, the same emotions, the same relationships,
they're still love songs.
It's still a love song.
Yeah.
So that was like an easy hop, skip, jump over where, you know, like over to R&B. And it's still the same, like most of the great musicians that play, if they don't play around the city, they play around the world.
Yeah.
They all grew up in the church.
Yeah.
You know, so those chords they're playing, they ain't slick. We know that's some John P. Key.
Yeah.
We know that's some Hezekiah. You teething from Fred. We know
John P. Key.
You know, so my, it's not a too far concept that's just gospel with a little bit more, you know, shoulder movement.
That's the first John P. Key reference on this podcast. You're making cool table history with that one. That Donnie McClurkin song, Stand.
Yes.
Was one of my top songs a couple years ago. And then he had the other one, I forgot the name of it. Another song by him was my number one played song. Mm-hmm. And the number two song was a song by Four Bats. And anyone who saw my top 5 songs was just like, either you only knew the Four Bats song or you only knew the Donnie McClurkin song.
No one was in the middle.
And if you knew both, you were like,
yeah.
I see you.
Amazing.